My name is Sagi Kratu and I will be your trainer. Today we will cover network security for small businesses. Our first session is called the Solution Architecture. Some prerequisites before we begin. So in order to fully take advantage of this online training, please make sure to have the following: 3 books labeled The Checkpoint Small Business Security Book 1, Book 2, and Book 3. It's recommended to have one appliance from the list below, a SafeOffice 1000N or a 500 series appliance, and a security management portal installed on-site or on demand. Today's objectives are: we will learn why small businesses need network security. We will learn the basics of the Checkpoint embedded NGX technology. We will outline the 500 and 1000N series appliances. We will outline the add-ons that the PowerPack enables us. And we will learn about the service center. So why do small businesses need network security? Small businesses are as dependent on internet application for businesses transaction as large businesses. Are first to suffer damage caused by outbreaks, lack awareness of network security, unwittingly leave the door open to threats from within the network, have become more attractive targets for cybercriminals networks than larger businesses. Also, new legislation requires network security to protect confidential and personal information. So in essence, you have to think of network security as insurance. Would you risk not insuring your house or car? So why leave your network uninsured? Here are some of the challenges small business owners multiple threats from multiple sources, whether it's vulnerability, exploits, threats of Trojans, worms, phishing, etc. IT resources and proper implementation. So there's really no IT staff, or very low or small percentage of IT staff working at a small business. There's low IT budget or non-existent. Communication between remote networks and mobile users is also a challenge, whether it's securing the VPN connection or the site-to-site connection, workers like salespeople and so on. Another challenge is network organization and resource allocation. So whether it's security policy management, QoS for bandwidth monitoring, and so on. The main idea of a business is to always be secure and always be connected. Let's talk about the embedded NGX technology solution. So in essence, what we have is the Checkpoint enterprise grade level code running on a cost-effective hardware, and when we implement that into the SafeOffice security appliance, what we get is a leading enterprise security technology brought to small businesses environment. In terms of components, the product line includes the 500 series, whether it's the wireless, the DSL, the wired, and of course the new launched of 1000N, NW, and DSL appliances. We can add PowerPack add-ons to it. In the cloud offering, this is already included in the basic offering. And when we have the service center, which sits in the cloud, security managed from the cloud, that can offer full visibility on all appliances being managed. The 500 and 1000 series security appliances. So we're talking about a network stateful inspection security gateway with the following functionality: a firewall, a VPN, whether it's client to site or site to site, and several mechanisms or engines for content filtering. All of these are included in the below hardware models, whether it's the 1000N or the 500. Some of the features, and with your permission I will talk about the 1000N since these are the ones that are being sold today. We're talking about 1 gig of firewall throughput, 200 meg of VPN throughput, 60,000 concurrent connections. And for some of you who are looking for what the older appliances did, you can see that we're talking about on average 5 times more performance, more memory, and so on. In terms of features, of course, this is the Checkpoint stateful inspection firewall. We have policy rules, whether it's time-based or static rules, application intelligence, which is the IPS, intrusion detection and prevention using smart defense, NAT, different embedded security policies which you can leverage, support for VoIP, anti-spoofing protection, peer-to-peer, file sharing, antivirus, and URL filtering. Since this device is not only a firewall but also can act as a router in your network, it can connect to different providers on different connectivity methods. For example, point-to-point, static IP address, DHCP, it's when the appliance receives an IP address from the provider, PPPoE usually for DSL connections, BPTP and L2TP for cable connections, classic cable type connections, Telestra type of connections, and of course dial-up for a regular 56K modem, ISDN modem, 3G modem, and so on and so on. And on top of that, because this is also can act as a router, it has some dead connection detection mechanisms that when one connection is down, it can move to the secondary connection seamlessly. As we spoke before, cellular modem support, and we keep adding more and more modems that we support and certify. Backup internet connection, load balancing, and DHCP server, client, and relay. Relay actually means you receive your IP addresses from a third party. Some of the wireless features, of course, the best thing about these new N series wireless is the N standard up to 300 meg of throughput. In terms of security, aside from web, which is very easily hacked, there is WPA and WPA-PSK, and of course WPA2. We support QoS for wireless, dual diversity antennas, up to 100 meters indoors and 300 outdoors. The PowerPack add-on. Again, this is something that is included in the cloud offering. So you can support more than 5 remote access users, more site-to-site VPNs, create VLANs and network segmentation, user-based network access control or NAC according to user permissions, dual unit failover or HA, active-passive, wired and wireless hotspots, so your users will actually have to be authenticated before they log into the wireless network or wired network, dynamic VPN routing implementation, OSPF, BGP, RIP, RIP, advanced quality of service, so you can actually create your own classes of QoS, advanced wireless configuration, which means you can create WDS, a wireless distribution system, different VAPs, virtual access points, to again segregate the network and provide more and more security. Let's talk a bit now about the Cloud Management Center, how you manage everything from a single location. So in the service provider, or at the co-location of the service provider, we will install what we call an SMP, Security Management Portal, which can provide different services and management capabilities as they're listed here. Remote management, so pretty much manage anything that's locally can be managed on the appliance, manage it from a single location at the provider's level. Automatic software updates, you can push different updates to the appliance. Gateway antivirus signature updates, that does it automatically. Email filtering, become an email proxy, everything will go through the service center or the SMP and be scanned and cleaned and then provided to your email client. Web filtering, dynamic DNS, so instead of providing your customers with a fixed IP, you can provide them with a dynamic IP and also provide them with a name, for example box.isp.com, and this will always be their URL. They can turn to it whether it's for client-to-site VPN, site-to-site VPN, remote desktop, anything you want to do, and the resolving is done at the SMP level. Dynamic VPN management actually means a single place where you can manage all your VPN communities. You just drag and drop the gateway into the VPN community and automatically a VPN site will be created according to your needs, whether it's nested, mesh, or star. User authentication management, the SMP can act as the authenticator, so like a Radius, like a TACAX server. All requests for authentication will go through the SMP with a database that sits in the SMP. Logging and reporting, the most important thing, at least in my opinion, provide your customers with information on what the appliance or the service has done for him, whether it's what it did it block, what it allow, what information has been passed through the appliance, and so on. And VSS vulnerability scanning, this is provided only on the on-site solution. With the help of a Nessus server, you can actually try and penetrate the appliance to the servers behind it and get a report at the end on how and what to fix. So let's go over again on the challenges and see how our solutions provide a nice, easy way to solve these challenges. So the challenge of multiple threats from multiple resources, locally we provide full stateful inspection firewall, 1 gig firewall throughput with the help of the smart defense and intrusion detection prevention, gateway antivirus, and web rules. All these are provided from the cloud or from the service center, which pushes the different policies, whether it's the firewall policy, the web filtering policy, email gateway, email antivirus and anti-spam, and the gateway antivirus anti-spam. This provides 2 layers of protection from the cloud and locally in the appliance. And again, all information is pushed from the cloud to the appliance. Another challenge we saw before is IT resources and proper implementation. So once you have a UTM device or on a CPE at the on-premise, it provides a lot of protections, whether it's in terms of unified threat management that provides all-in-one security, very simple intuitive configuration wizard, out-of-the-box network protection with the 4 levels of security policy. And from the service center, from the SMP, you can actually manage everything, whether it's the logging policy and reporting, inform your customer what you're doing for him. We push automatic software updates, we provide user authentication, so everything can be done from the center, from the cloud. Another challenge is communication between remote networks and mobile users. So as we stated before, the appliance can accept whether it's client-to-site VPN connections, site-to-site VPN connections, RDP connections, in terms of there's a special page that you can actually log into several computers behind the appliance. With the addition of the Power Pack, which is included in the cloud offering, you can increase that capability. More VPNs, more client-to-site VPNs, more site-to-site VPNs. And again, everything is managed from the service center in terms of the policy, in terms of the ease of use in the dynamic VPN environment. The more communities you have, the more gateways you have, the easier it is to manage. Only click and drag, or drag and push, drag and drop to the different communities, and boom, you have the VPN created. Another challenge we have is network organization and resource management. So again, from all the information here, you can see that you can create VLANs, and you can separate and segregate networks, and you can have an option of connecting via 3G or DSL or direct LAN connection, create different policies for different networks with the Power Pack add-ons, create the different networks with VLANs, dynamic routing, bridge mode, radius accounting, and so on and so on. A lot of new and improved features, and again, everything mastered from the service center, the cloud, with simple policy-based or profile-based management, whether it's specifically for a gateway or it is a global property for a group of gateways, and so on. Another challenge that we saw is business network continuity and security availability. We're talking about the way that the appliance has a capability locally, and again, managed from the cloud, the ability to detect issues with the internet connectivity and then move to the secondary line if you have one. Another option is to have another appliance as HA backup, and once the appliance discovers that it has some issues with itself or with both internet connection going down, it can transfer all the information and all routing will go through the secondary box, which is connected via HA. This allows you to have not only recovery, but business continuity. So your business will always be up and will always be secure. Thank you for your time today. This concludes our first session for Checkpoint Security Management from the Cloud. Please complete Labs 1 and 2 on Book 1 and join us for Session number 2, Hardware Information.